it's all about what happens in front of the camera. You know, you have YouTube videos that goes viral that has shaky handheld HD or 720p footage, but people still watch it because there's something interesting happening in front of the camera.
Hey, I'm Chase, and this is Media Offline, a series where I speak to filmmakers and creatives who inspire me, trying to learn how we can all build better careers. Anders and Morten are a massive inspiration for me, creating world-class time-lapse, commercials, and films from their base in Norway, but also sharing the journey through their YouTube channel. They're creating bigger and better work while also giving an authentic peek behind the curtain on their commercial projects. So, how do they manage both?
I think I was around 12 years old when I was so interested in my father's camera. Just made a lot of films with friends, attended film school in northern Norway and went there for 1 year, and then I was asked to direct a feature film. It was actually my teacher who asked me to direct this film. It was a horse movie actually. I'm not a horse person, but I was asked to direct this. And of course I said yes, because I was like 21 years old, just graduated from film school. And it ended up winning the biggest award in Norway for the best children's movie. Oh, this is crazy. I never in my life expected this. And this was a low budget movie.
And what a way to start your career as well, with an award-winning horse movie.
I realized that YouTube was so much fun doing. So I tried to implement the YouTube channel into a film production company. And that's where we are now. Yeah.
My cousin and I started making these videos at our cabin in the mountains, like really bad ones, of course, but I put some time lapses in those videos, just like of the clouds and for some B-roll. And I found out that this time lapsing was really good because my camera was so bad that all the video looked crap, but because I could take still photos with my still camera at quite high resolution. And this was really like 10, 12 years ago when time-lapsing was really taking off. So I created this Norway video where I traveled around Norway for like 4 months during summer break from university. That got quite popular and I got some jobs because of that. And one of the jobs was to do some B-roll for one of the documentaries Anders was directing. And that's how I met Anders.
I mean, time-lapse is something that's so technical. How did you sort of start to learn that? Because time-lapse wasn't something that was accessible in 2010.
You know, at the time, I really wanted to create videos, but this was the only way I could actually create high quality videos. On my first camera, I think it was like the Canon 450D, I couldn't even take video. I spent some years to save up to buy the first Genie, and I couldn't afford a slider, so my dad and I built a slider out of like a wardrobe thing with I created my whole first Norway video on that wardrobe slider.
Oh wow. Dude.
But time-lapse is an area where I can really be creative on the technical side, and even now I have like a full a slider setup, but I like to play with it in different ways and put 2 sliders on top of each other and put the motor where it's not supposed to be to get a better movement, and I really like this. Yeah, these technical challenges.
And I mean, that sort of links into your technical side as well. You say you're not a technical person, but you did create a steadicam company around the same time, right?
Yeah, I think maybe I was more into the technical stuff before, but then when I studied film school, I could only do directing for the first time. But yeah, this is kind of the it's a steadicam I made in 2006 or something like that, because it was so expensive to buy steadicams in Norway.
This is the most comfortable steadicam I've ever held, actually.
That's all the thing.
It's so comfortable with this thing.
When you have the creators itself create products, I really realized that it's heavy to carry a steadicam. So by just having this under, it helps, it lasts for a long time.
So you're definitely using, technical skills to make equipment that you couldn't afford otherwise.
Yeah. Last year we made a film production van, which we made a video about, and right now we're creating a big studio here, which is gonna be amazing, and it's kind of nice sometimes to get some break from filmmaking.
I hope you're putting a big psych into your studio.
Yeah, we used your documents. The carpenter was putting up the cyclorama, looking at your documents like, okay, how to do this.
But they turn out really well.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Matt's the one who wrote the documents, so I'm glad that they're accurate. I think we'll copy you guys and make our own production van next.
Yeah.
The pair have kept up with sharing their journey on YouTube, while also managing a rapidly scaling agency. I was interested if there's anything they would have done differently.
We could have done a lot of things better probably in terms of like organization and planning and visions and all that, but we've been just too busy making films and we've grown too fast for our own good. So, I mean, why change that?
Does that add any sort of pressure with the money side? Now it's not just you, there's 5 people to sustain and support each month.
It's always a big risk when we try to like employ more people. I mean, you got to take those risks if you want to grow, but it's definitely quite scary. It is.
I remember the first risk we had was getting the first office. I think it was only Morten and myself who agreed that we should go for this. The rest of the group was a bit, you know, it's expensive. If we don't get any jobs, at least, you know, we can use our savings to cover this. We'll solve it. You just have to take some chances, and it was the best choice we did. Getting the first office was just perfect. Having a meeting room, film studio.
Definitely. How do you, because you still keep the YouTube channel running, how do you balance that YouTube side and having more work than's good for you?
All of us would love to do more YouTube because it's a very free creative space where we can do whatever we want. But we've been quite fortunate to have some good sponsors, which has done it possible to actually work on YouTube as if it was just another commercial that we were doing, so we could actually put quite a lot of time and resources into making really good YouTube videos.
Yeah. Is YouTube something you still put time into actively growing as a channel, or is it something that's sort of you've left to, I don't know, do its thing natively?
I think we are really bad YouTubers in a way. Like we do all the mistakes, and it's just because we don't have too much time. But yeah, we know that ideally we should put up a video like every week or something like that, and for the algorithms. But we never really cared about that. It can go 4 months between our videos, and then we put out 3 in a row in 2 weeks, and that's just how it is.
But it's interesting to see, because I think it's a bit refreshing for the audience to see someone who doesn't like do the trends or like quickly has to upload a video, where we use a lot of time on each video, and we know it's not our main income, so we feel not stressed about it, which is nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of making YouTube work for you and as a like production company, rather than trying to work to whatever the algorithm is gonna reward you for.
YouTube is never gonna be our main source of income anyway, so it's just a place for play and experiment and
sometimes get new clients in a way.
That's awesome. I want to sort of circle back to time-lapse. Morten, what are some of like the mistakes people make when they're trying to get into that themselves?
I don't know, people are afraid to just do it. It seems like people are worried about their shutter and stuff like that. Like, they overcomplicate things a bit. If people saw how I actually make time-lapse, except for some of those crazy dolly movements and stuff like that, I think they would be shocked of how easy I do. Like, I just put thing in automatic and let it go, usually. Like, it's really, you don't have to buy all this stuff. It's just go out and do it, put it into aperture priority mode and let it run. The most important thing is just getting the best out of the camera, is that being at the right place at the right time. So you really need to spend a lot of time actually planning, hiking there, trekking there, whatever you want to do, and capturing a nice moment.
Definitely. Is that kind of the same for film as well, Anders, or is it all the technical?
Yeah. It's all about what happens in front of the camera. You know, you have YouTube videos that goes viral that has shaky handheld or 720p footage, but people still watch it because there's something interesting happening in front of the camera. If you are too much into the technical things as well, if that's your main focus, only the technical things, use time on directing, use time on acting, for example, in film, use time on the characters, the story. I think one of the things that people regret is that they don't regret of things they have done, but they regret of things they haven't done in their life. So if you are thinking about doing something, just do it.
Morten and Anders have built an impressive filmmaker-first business, while also being so generous with the knowledge and insight that they share. But what sticks with me most is that they've made all of this work for them, striking a balance between commercial necessities, but realizing that chasing trends is less fulfilling to them than fundamentals executed well.